Anyway, so today we are doing an episode of mine. We're going to talk about animals and how they relate to autism.
I love it.
So, yeah, here we go. Auddy Hotties.
Yeah, welcome to the Auddy Hottie podcast.
Here we are.
Welcome back to Auddy Hotties. I'm Bree,
I'm McKenna.
and here we are to talk about all of our lovely animals.
Yes.
So we'll include pictures and cuteness in our posts.
Absolutely.
So we'll probably end up talking about each of our individual animals today too.
Yes. To be clear, I only have one animal.
Yeah.
But
I'm sitting
do a
at
history
4 right now.
Yeah, you want
Yeah,
lots to do.
But something I saw on TikTok this week was somebody posting about autism.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, they were saying, well, this particular TikTok was saying like, oh, dogs can have autism, and it's like highly debated. After I researched it a little bit, it's highly debated whether they actually can or not.
Yeah.
But there is something called canine dysfunctional behavior, CDB, and it's kind of the dog version of autism. It's just like behavioral based, but of course, like
Interesting.
officially vets say like it's not autism because autism is something identified in humans
Right.
that we have a descriptive
Right.
for.
Phenotype.
But I thought
Yep.
it was really funny that they were bringing that up.
That's so funny because I saw a group this week that is called Autism, AWETISM, and I was like, damn it, that would have been a really cool podcast title.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Whoops. But in the process of researching that too, I came across a website called pautism.org. And it's a group that's out of a specific state. I can't remember which one, but they help connect kids to service dogs. I thought that was really sweet.
Well, they're so important.
Mhm.
I am just such a firm believer in alternative therapies and like whatever works for you. And I think that animals have such a powerful presence in like any human's life, but especially neurodiverse people.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know if like, see, I should have done research on this podcast called
Oh,
Telepathy, the
okay.
telepathy tapes.
Uh-huh.
Where there's all sorts of communication and like different types of communication and but like I wonder if or maybe we did talk about this one time how there's like a different stream that neurodivergent people
Mm.
speak on and communicate on, and maybe
Yeah.
like animals are there too. I don't know.
We haven't talked about it, but
tangenting.
somebody at my work brought it up and
Oh,
was like,
really?
I just started listening to this and I'm like obsessed. Like I started a non-believer and now I'm a believer.
The telepathy tapes?
Yeah.
No, I know. It's been like pretty big in the SLP community,
Oh.
and so it's like on my list to listen to, but
Okay.
haven't yet.
All right, we'll add it to the book review, the podcast review
Exactly.
list.
Let's do it.
I think basically the premise is that like autistic people communicate on a different wavelength, and so therefore we can
Yes.
like kind of have a telepathy version
Yeah,
out there. Yeah.
that's what I thought. I didn't want to like actually come out and say that that's what the podcast said, but
That was the gist I got from someone telling me about
yeah,
it.
yeah. And I've always wondered that. So there you go.
Yeah,
It's
interesting.
true.
So then the question
I
is,
was
do
right.
animals communicate on that same wavelength? And that's why we understand them more.
I think it is a similar one. I also think that animals have like different cues of communication that autistic people understand more or maybe can like attune to better. Like you don't have to have eye contact with an animal and you don't have to have spoken language with an animal. And
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, there's just, oh, animal communication is so interesting to me.
Yeah, super
Yeah.
interesting. Circling back to service dogs. Circling back. Am I corporate? I mean,
Yeah,
giving
you are.
corporate
You
TikTok.
could have put this in an
Circling
email.
back. Let's take this offline.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I put down some jobs that service dogs can do for kids with autism. I thought that was really cool. Or adults with autism. Whoever needs them.
Yeah,
It's much more
true.
pushed for kids, but
Okay, I have so much to say about that too. But first, say your stuff.
Okay. Some jobs that they can do for people is deep pressure therapy, so like putting their weight on you, putting pressure into your body. Interrupting escalating behaviors, so anxiety, meltdowns, self-harm, kind of interrupting and getting in the way of that. Reducing sensory overload. So one example was blocking space between you and other people at a store.
Yep.
Um, assisted ADLs, activities of daily living. So that's like, getting cooking, getting your medications for yourself, opening doors, like if there's other tasks that need done.
Wait, the dog does those tasks or like can remind you to do those or
Both, he can help you with them,
oh,
or some dogs are trained to give medication reminders, like on a daily like time task.
cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
super cool.
they're so cool.
Social support, they're just a great barrier
Yeah.
between us and another person, sometimes taking the attention off of you if that's what you need.
Hmm.
Um, and then some dogs can also be trained to alert for eloping. It's a misconception that all service dogs can do this because apparently it's a pretty specified task that they have to be taught. But if you have like a child that elopes, they can come and alert to
Hmm.
another handler to say like this is what's happening. Another handler of the dog, not of the
Yeah.
child. My handler.
AKA parent.
Why do I feel like that's how some autistic kids probably think though? So they're my handler number one.
Honestly, what's the difference?
Yeah.
I work across the street from a school that kids with dangerous behaviors
Mhm.
basically are like placed into if they can't be in their home school. And so it is just so interesting to watch some of the ways that like they are worked with and
Mhm.
just like everyone has like big foam barriers to like shield themselves and like they're out on the playground and the students there and I don't know if like they're trying to keep them from eloping or what, but it is a world that I am so curious about because I have so much anger when I look and see a scene like that, but I'm trying to be curious about it and the whys and the whats and all the things. But anyway, makes
Yeah.
sense that they would maybe refer to their adults as handlers.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I just feel like that's how I would think of it in my head because I'm
Yeah.
very like robotic in the way that I like read things. So I'd be like, yes, my creator number one. Like,
That's
uh,
so funny.
yeah. Yeah. Other like general benefits of pets though, even not for service related things, just things being like that they don't judge you.
Hmm.
People were saying on Reddit, like they don't play mind games is a big part of it. Like you get what you get with a dog a lot of the times.
I
Like,
don't know. I think that Frankie plays mind games all the fucking time. She,
yeah, my dog's pretty smart too.
yeah.
At least they're not complex mind games. You kind of can catch on to what they're doing.
Maybe.
Do you have a favorite story or something she's done those
Trying.
tricky behaviors?
She's so tricky. The thing is like she doesn't think that I'm like paying attention when she's going to do something, and I'm like, Frankie, you are have been told not to do that a million times. But she's so food motivated. Right now, I'm trying to get her to stay off of my garden beds that are
Mm.
freshly planted, and she just will not
The fresh dirt,
stop.
though. It's
I
so
know, and
exciting.
it makes me so angry because I will like
Mm.
turn my head for 1 minute and she's there, and like we've worked on it, and I'm just like, Frankie, oh my gosh, you are going to drive me to an early grave.
One of my favorite stories from Jules being sassy is I was having like burgers and French fries or something like takeout at home. And she loves French fries. They're like her favorite food. Terrible. But it's potatoes, it's fine.
Oh, salty.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She loves French fries. So she cries for me to take her outside, but she has very specific cries. Like she cries, looks at the door, and then like starts running towards the door. And I was like, okay, she needs to go outside. So I go to take her out the door, and I walk towards the door to go open it. While I'm walking towards the door, she turns around and hightails it back to the fries.
That is so cute. So monstrous.
I was like, that is the trickiest thing you've
Um,
ever done. You just told me I need to go outside. No, I don't.
what a stinker. I fully believe it.
Yeah. Um, Oh, so we can talk about our pets now while we're talking about them. So
Yeah.
Jules is a 30% Shiba Inu, and then she has like 10% of a bunch of things. She's poodle, but the Boston Terrier and Pit Bull that are all like smaller amounts in her, and then Muddy Mutt, who knows what. But Shiba Inus are super hard to train
Yes, very
and
stubborn.
very stubborn and barky, and
Hmm.
they bark at other dogs a lot and are not always the best of friends with other dogs.
Yep.
So she has certainly put me through the test of all of those skills. On the plus side, she is extremely bright,
Yeah.
and she knows like 25 tricks and hikes. Still at 12 years old, she still hikes like 5 to 6 mile hikes,
Wow.
and her longest hike ever was like in her middle years. She went on a 14-mile, 6,000 foot mountain hike.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
that was pretty
way more
cool.
than I can do.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's
Um,
awesome.
and then we went and ran our little mini 5K the other day. So she's
Yeah,
doing
she's
great.
just so sprightly.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
gotcha.
Yep. I'll say that my other ones. So I have one other cat that's mine, Monty. He's here with us, hanging out with my roommate's daughter because she loves him. But he is almost 11. He's a
Yeah.
little up there, but cats can go for a long time, so we'll see. But I picked him because I went up to his, well, first I accidentally went to a cat adoption event.
Oopsies.
Oopsies.
Just found your way there.
Oh,
Came
yeah.
upon you. Whoops.
I was just
Wasn't it
by
my maps are
dumb chance.
ending? Anything?
Exactly. Anyway, so I saw this little guy and he looked so pitiful, but I love long-haired cats and he had such pretty long hair. And I asked if I could open his cage and they were like, yeah, sure. So I open it, and the second that I open the door, he is in my arms, like
Oh,
up on my neck, hugging me. And I was like, well, it's too late.
so sweet.
And yep, I walked around for like an hour trying to make the decision because I was like, I don't really need a cat. This cat needs me. And believe it or not, he's like 14 pounds now, but when I got him, he was only like 8 or 9 pounds. And he was so
Tiny
scrawny and skinny.
little.
He had a respiratory problem. And
Poor guy.
yeah.
Oh, I remember meeting you for the very first time, and you were at work with your cat on your shoulders. And I was like,
The one time I brought him to work was when I met McKenna somehow.
yeah.
I wish I could bring him more, but I feel like it's probably taboo. I probably just got away with it the one time.
The one time.
Yeah. Everybody was very happy to see him though. So
Oh, it was a crowd favorite day.
yeah. Yeah, so that's Monty. And then Lauren had two cats before we moved in together. Tato, and Riley. And they're really cute. Potato is a little gray cat, and Riley is a little tabby. Or no, not tabby. What is that? Tortie. A little.
I don't know much
You don't
about
know
cats.
colors.
Remember, it's trauma.
Oh yes, she's a tortie, which is like a black and orange mix, like where they kind of like camo colored, which she's very good at. She likes to hide and
Yeah.
be away, and McKenna's gonna take care of them for a couple of days, and you'll probably not see
I don't
Riley
think
at
I
all.
will.
She probably will not come out.
Oh, it
Um,
was so funny though when I was at your house and Lauren was like looking for I don't know which cat, but like she like went into the coffee
Yep.
table with a little light and took a picture. That was the only way that she could know if like her cat was in the
yeah,
coffee table or not. And I
she does
just
that all the time. We have to
it's
feed
so
her in
funny.
there. We have to feed her in there now sometimes because she's obsessed with being in the coffee
I
table.
get it.
Yeah. But the worst thing she did when Lauren moved into her new house, we couldn't find Riley anywhere where we were like, what is going on? And finally we hear like little scratching noises. She got in the chimney flue,
Oh
like up
my
inside
gosh,
of
what
it.
a
Yeah, and we couldn't reach her because the hole was like a teeny little strip. And so we just had to wait for her to come out. And then finally she came out and we closed that thing as fast as we could.
yeah,
Like, you're not getting
not
up there
happening again.
No,
Not happening again.
no.
She's
And
just going on a little adventure.
yeah. So she's very typical cat that way. And then Tato is kind of a typical cat where he like wants to be petted and like will rub on you and then all of a sudden will be like, stop. And you're like,
Yes.
okay. So the update on the progress so far, because you guys have been following along since we moved in together, is we officially had our first ever time that all four pets were in the same room together and nobody was hissing or anything. We were all like laying in our respective spots.
That's big progress.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was big. So Making progress.
Congratulations.
Thanks. And now for your pet. Mm.
Um, First of all, I should have brought the book that we talked about, or there's two books. One is Cats Are Autistic and Dogs Are ADHD, and
Uh-huh.
they literally are on my desk at work. I need to
Ah.
bring them in and maybe we could do like a story time or something. So I have Miss Frankie.
Yeah.
She's turning 4 at the end of the month, which I can't believe. I still remember the day we got her. She ran right up to me and just like has acted that way ever since.
Mm.
She is
Wait,
so
where'd you get her
youthful.
from?
We got her from a breeder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
So she's a chocolate lab. I really wanted her to have puppies and
Mm.
like do service dog in the
Oh.
future. Like this is like a lot of backstory, but as an SLP, I knew that like therapy dogs were something for autistic folks, and this was before I was diagnosed autistic. And I was like, it would be so cool if I could have a way of like providing access to those types of dogs. And I don't know like how I would train them or if I would like work with a trainer or whatever, but like it was something that I wanted to offer at least once or twice. And then um that obviously was just not a great idea. Like once Frankie had like 4 cycles, I think, before fixing her, but she I just think that she's a great therapy dog for me, but her her inattention and like she's just a smooth brain Labrador, but she's actually really smart, so maybe not so smooth brain. I don't know.
Oh.
She's she's complex like her mom.
Aw. No ridges or bumps. No valleys or jumps.
She's so food motivated. She's
Oh.
so smart. But anyway,
Have you taught her any service dog tasks?
no,
Okay,
I
cool.
haven't.
I
No.
actually taught Jules two things. Oh, what was the second one? I was trying to teach her more because I also wanted to like get Jules to do some fun things and help
Mhm.
out, and we'd run out of tricks that I could think of to teach her.
Yeah.
So I actually taught her a brace to like help you get up off the ground.
Oh, cool.
So she knew to like stand still with all four legs, and you could put weight through her shoulder blades
Uh-huh.
to like help stand up off of things. And then I also taught her opening doors
Okay.
from the push side, but she could never get the like grabbing something to open it. So we
Have the
stopped at like,
opposable thumbs.
yeah, we could
Be
never
hard for
get to the
any
like
dog.
opening the fridge or any of those things because you're supposed to like tie a rope and have them pull the rope. And she
So
just would like grab it
cool.
and then drop it and be like,
What am I
why would I play
supposed
tug
to
of
be
war
doing?
with a fridge?
What
You
am I
dumb
supposed
human.
to be doing?
Yeah.
No.
Mm.
Yeah, no, we haven't done any tasks like that. She obviously provides me so much companionship. Like
Mhm.
I think I'm gonna cry for the second time.
Oh, you just love your puppy so much.
Oh, I love her so much. And she has been like just there through everything.
Mm.
And we just have a great time together.
Oh.
We like sleep on the couch together, which is like so bizarre because I literally have a loft with a bed, but like I just love sleeping with her at my feet and like obviously can't get her up to my
Yeah.
loft. I don't trust
She's
her to
how many
like,
pounds of dog?
well, so she's only like a 45-pound lab, so she's really small,
Hmm.
but I don't trust her to like not jump off.
Yeah.
Like once she's up there, I just know her well. Um,
That's so weird to think about because Jules is 40 pounds. And so I'm
oh,
like, how on earth are they? They're like almost the same weight.
I don't know. She might be heavier now. She's put on some weight, but that's another thing about her is she has like food allergies galore. So like that would be something like the earlier stories of her just like getting her way. Like I feed her such expensive dog
Oh
food
my gosh.
because it's like the only one that she doesn't get sick off of. But
Wow.
yeah, no, we snuggle all the time. Like she's just I think that sensory experience is so important for me and like regulating my nervous system. We go on walks, which I think is really good somatic therapy. Um, but yeah, I think that companionship is just so special and I think it's hard because, I got her with my ex. So we were like a unit. And then when we broke up, it was one of those things where we had decided when we got Frankie that she would be mine if we ever
Mhm.
broke up, which so it was never like a
Questioning who's, yeah.
mm-mm, which I think is really smart
Yeah, definitely.
going into it. But there was so much doubt that I could take care of Frankie on my own. And I didn't for a while. I had her stay at my parents' house for probably the first like 4 months of the year,
Mhm.
just while I like wrapped things up and moved twice and
Mhm.
all the things. But I was really scared to have her as a sole owner, and
Mhm.
I am so glad that I got beyond my fear. And um, I think that my dad said it really well one time where I was just like being really hard on myself for, because I think we talked last time about how um, last summer I was so sick that I just had like no energy to do anything. And so Frankie didn't get to do much. Like we would do a ball toss in the morning, and then that was kind of it for the day.
Mhm.
Um, and I just felt like so guilty of being that kind of pet owner. And my dad was like, she's happiest when she's with you. And I think here is
Mhm.
like the best place for her to be. Like there's no other owner.
Oh, that's sweet.
But
Oh,
like, so yeah, it just was. I'm so glad I have her. Like, all in all,
yeah.
she's delightful.
Oh.
And one of my friends too pointed it out this year of like thinking she's a young soul, and I think that that
Mhm.
is just like something I really have delighted in this year as she has driven me crazy. Like she's literally probably here for the first time because she is just so happy to be here and
Oh.
like so energetic and so enthusiastic. So yeah,
Oh.
I love Frankie.
Yeah. Oh. I also kept both of my pets in my
Hmm.
divorce. He had said that they always didn't feel like his pets anyways, and so I ended up keeping both of them, which I'm quite happy about. I love my babies.
Yeah.
And I'm also glad that there wasn't like a disagreement about that because that would have been really hard too.
Yeah.
But I've kind of learned since then of like things that I need to do to accommodate myself to be able to take care of two pets like by
Yes.
myself. Um,
Huge.
yeah.
It
So
really
like
is.
I was so worried about like feeding them regularly because I don't
Hmm.
know how many times I've forgotten that if I did or did not feed them,
Yeah.
like I'll turn around and be like, did you eat?
Yep.
I'll just be looking at her and she's like, okay, I'll take more food. I'm like, you
Exactly.
liar. I can't trust you.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I had originally gotten like an automatic feeder that was on a timer and
Oh,
that
that's
helped a
so smart.
ton. Yeah, so I wouldn't forget every time. Um, and then, yeah, like if I needed to, like hiring a dog walker or something if I was too busy or,
I did
yeah,
that a few times last year too. I felt like
yeah,
that was a really good accommodation.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
I
that's our
think,
babies.
yeah. We love our babies. I have fallen back in love with cats.
You fell back in love with cats?
I did.
Oh,
I don't know
good.
what happened.
It's a good thing since you're gonna be
I know. Well, I do cat sit. I have cat sat for years,
yeah,
but
yeah.
they're just like little lions, and
Yeah.
they're all over my news feed, and I'm just
That's
like,
what I
God
love.
damn it.
Oh my God, have you seen what's his name? Hold on. Pause.
The cat that travels in Canada,
No.
that one is a fluffy,
Oh.
fluffy cutie.
No, have you
He's still
seen
alive.
Baby Corn?
No.
Oh my God, you have to follow this. His name is Baby Corn. He's 8 weeks old, but he had a growth problem that they can't figure out yet. Because that's him next to little 3-week-old kittens. He's like the same size.
Oh, he's so
Oh
cute.
my God, I love him. Baby Corn. And she's like always like bottle feeding him and stuff and like taking him to
Yeah.
the vet to try to, they tested him for like hypothyroidism.
Yep.
So we can't figure it out.
Something's going on with his little hormones.
His little boy, little
Sweetheart.
but he was adorable. Follow Baby Corn if you want to. But yeah, that's one of the things I love about Monty is he just like stomps around and then he'll just sit and like look all proud and like fluffy and you're like, okay, what are you doing?
What a cat.
Yep, so funny.
I think that's something too about like equine therapy
Mm,
that is so supportive. And I think that the taking the somatic equine therapy, I know that we've both done similar lessons. And I think that like that is also just such a great tool for nervous system regulation and
Yeah,
just
definitely.
observing how animals communicate even is just so, I don't know why it's calming, but it is. And
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's true around a lot of like I think neurodiverse people in general love animals.
Yeah, I
Not
have,
around the board, but a lot of people do because we feel such strong connections to them and that calming
yeah,
sense too.
I have noticed that. It's
Yeah.
really sweet.
Which one of the most famous autistic people
Hmm.
is a major activist for particularly cow
Hmm.
health. You know who I'm talking about?
I do know who you're talking about. I do not know their name.
Temple Grandin.
Yes.
Yeah. So I read one of their books. I thought maybe I still had it, but I couldn't find it anywhere. Oh, Animals in Translation. Um, and it was really interesting. I think a lot of her books are kind of similar,
Mm.
but they're basically about her activism and like the treatment of cows and like how we're handling and like understanding animal communication
So
and
cool.
yeah, super
Wow.
cool. But she's put that to use in incredible ways. I think she has like 10 plus books out there
Wow.
and yeah, just a super cool person.
I love that.
Yeah. And I was gonna info dump on you about narwhals.
Perfect.
So narwhals are my specialty favorite animal because I have a pet one. No,
Yeah, right.
I,
Take me to
I
the narwhal now.
yeah, I have like a major life goal of eventually seeing narwhals in
Mhm.
the wild, but they're like really rare to see.
Really?
Yeah, they're only in like the sea, like in northern eastern Canada, and then like I think around Iceland or Greenland, somewhere over there.
Let's
But they're
go.
very minimal places. But the cruises to go see narwhals, like a whale watching cruise,
Yeah.
12 to $24,000.
No fucking way.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Wow.
I was like, I don't know if that dream's ever gonna come true, but we shall see.
We should do a crowdsource or what is that called?
Crowdfund
Crowdfunding?
it. Love it.
GoFundMe. That's almost as much as a cruise to Antarctica. That's
Exactly.
nuts. Wow.
Yeah, but some fun facts about narwhals. My favorite fact about narwhals is that their heads are called melons.
Cute.
Yep. And then their tusk thing is actually not a tusk, it's a tooth.
No way.
Yeah. And it's not
Huh.
a typical tooth where the root is on the inside, it's the root is on the outside. And it's like their primary sensory tool that mostly the boys have it. So it grows out of their mouth, actually, not out of like the top of their head like we picture it.
So interesting.
Yeah. And then they like can
Can you
sense.
imagine like a long tooth with your roots sticking out? Like that would be so uncomfortable.
Right? I can't imagine that being a good thing.
Oh,
But yeah, they mostly use them to like, search out where like fish are, kind of like echolocation and
so
like some communication with each
cool.
other. And yeah, super funny. So I've got my narwhal on my leg. But I also, on the Appalachian Trail, I had a friend make me a little um, crocheted narwhal. He's like
Cute.
this big. I called him Nile. No,
Nile the narwhal.
it was an inn name, and now I can't remember. But I carried it the whole trail on like the front strap of my backpack. It was like clipped on.
Cute.
Yeah, super cute.
I love it.
Let's see. And some other things I wrote down to remember to say. So they eat fish and squid, if you didn't know what their diet was. And their tusks, horns, things, tooth can be up to 10 feet long.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't
Do
that
they
crazy?
break?
I don't know. I didn't know anything about that.
Like, and then if they break, do they regrow?
Ooh. No, I
And
don't think they
then,
regrow.
but teeth regrow, right? Do they regrow?
No, you get your baby teeth and your adult teeth.
But they grow from somewhere. They
They
grow
grow from
from the
somewhere.
root.
They grow from your head.
I guess that's true. They stop growing after a point. So I guess I wonder if a narwhal's tooth
Keeps
stops
growing.
growing or
It
keeps
stops.
growing.
That's
Like
a
it
great
regenerates
question.
the tooth tissue,
Yeah.
is bone tissue. I don't know much
I
about
don't know.
teeth, apparently, but I am going to the dentist next week, so
Good job.
that'll be good.
Dentist appointment.
Oh, I did it.
Literally
My
the
mom
worst.
did.
Oh, good job, mom.
Yeah. I'm flying home to get my teeth cleaned.
Nice. And then the other fact is that they are the deepest diving whale. They can dive up to a mile deep. Right.
Wow. I didn't know that other whales couldn't do that.
Yeah, I guess they stay
you
closer
know?
to the surface because they have to breathe the air. Yeah. Don't know.
This makes me want
That's
to
my
go to
narwhal
an
fact.
aquarium and see all the animals. I
I
just
know.
love animals
I
so
love animals too.
much. Ugh,
Yeah, aquariums are a good time. They're also really fun sensory experience just because I really love the
they
dark
really
rooms where
are.
they have all the tanks
Yeah.
around it, and then you're just like, "Ooh, tank colors."
Oh, that's so cool. How do you feel about zoos?
I mean, mixed as you. I like zoos that are supporting
Yeah,
like animal conservation and stuff, and like the animals are there because they were injured or they can't be
sure.
rehabbed
Yeah.
or I don't know, they were born in captivity and they can't go to the wild or
Yeah,
for some reason that the general premise kind of sucks.
I know. It's like hard to speak on because I love going to the zoo and I feel
Mhm.
like it's a very fun experience.
And a
But
good
I
learning experience for kids and stuff too. And
For sure. And I feel like some of my best experiences have been at zoos. Like
oh.
I just love animals so much. Um, but I wonder like about all of that, um, even like environmentalism that has to do with zoos, and
Yeah.
I do wonder about that every time I go.
Yeah.
So
One of the worst parts of COVID, which this is over dramatization. It's not the worst part of COVID, but
we love drama.
fucking Tiger King coming out.
Oh my
Did you
gosh,
watch Tiger
yes,
King?
I did watch Tiger King.
I'm from Oklahoma. That was the worst thing ever because everyone was like, "You're from Oklahoma, like the Tiger King?" And
Did
I
you
was like,
know him?
"No." But I did go to the park when I was a kid, apparently. I don't
Shut
remember it.
up.
Well, my mom said that we went one time.
That is a really good, like, two truths and a lie.
Yeah,
Wow.
but I was so embarrassed the whole time because people kept talking about it, and I was like, different side of Oklahoma. That's not that's not what my family's like. It's not what my friends were like.
Oh, wow. Yeah, places like that suck.
Yeah.
And actually, a place on the Oregon coast was just
Mm.
closed down. That is a similar place. And
Mm.
all of the footage of the animals, they just look so sad. And I think that's what I just have never noticed about the Oregon Zoo specifically, is it really feels like they're taken really good care. They're
Mm.
well taken care of.
Oh,
And
good.
um except for the tiger. I would
Mm.
have to say that I have seen the tiger in distress quite a few times. Her name is Bernadette.
Bernadette. Cute.
Yes. She can be really loud.
Hmm.
But um
Roll it back for a second.
oh
This is the trigger warning. We're about to talk about animal dissection and humans. So if you want to skip this part, skip ahead. Yeah. While we're on kind of sad animal topics too, is
oh God.
high school science classes. Did you ever have to do a dissection lab?
Okay. So I've dissected so many things.
I have to. That's one of the worst parts of health professions.
I actually really
I know. I don't like the animals. I don't like animal dissection, but I really liked human dissection. I don't know what that says about me, but
I liked both. But I don't know what that says about me. I actually have a memory of like we did a full cat at the end of our anatomy
mm,
thing, and these boys, because I went to an all girls high school, but we took anatomy at zero period with the guys' high school,
mm.
so like it was both genders, all genders. And the boys, like, it was the last day of dissection and they cut off their cat's head and were like tossing it around the room. It was
Oh no.
horrifying.
Oh,
And that memory like, sticks in my mind.
traumatizing.
Yeah, and the teacher was so upset.
Oh, jeez.
But yeah, I have pig's heart, cow's eye, sheep's brain, humans. I remember the frog that I dissected in middle school was pregnant. So
Oh.
it had like 1,000 eggs there, and it was the only
Uh,
one of the whole class. So of course, like we got all the attention, and I was just like, "Go away, everyone."
oh. I didn't like
But
the
yeah,
frogs because they like jump basically when you like initially, I don't know, start cutting into some part of them. I can't remember what part. I feel like it was like, I don't know, dissecting like their spine or something, that their little legs will like
interesting.
jump still, and that's disturbing.
Well, see, I liked that kind of stuff where you would like move
The
like a
muscles
muscle
are
and then it would move a body part. I thought, and maybe that's because I'm a tactile learner. Like
mm,
I just really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that about um dissecting a cadaver too.
yeah.
Like especially in grad school with the lungs and like the vocal cords and that sort of mechanism. I'm not gonna go there.
Yeah. Anyways,
But
done with that section.
it was cool. I think in another life, I don't know what that would have been. Like, I couldn't have been a surgeon because I don't have the patience or
Mm.
the like fine motor skills.
Oh yeah,
But
fine motor skills no go for me.
yeah,
Hand-eye coordination, not
yeah.
great.
Or even the blood. Like, I
Yeah,
really don't
I can't
like
do blood.
blood at all.
That's why I couldn't do nursing.
Yeah.
I can't do blood and I can't do snot
Oh,
or like
really?
things that are snot textured.
Yeah.
Nope.
When I was in nursing school, they did a field trip to the hospital for us, and I shadowed a nurse, and the first patient they showed me had gangrene on their feet,
Ooh.
and I walked out and like transferred out of the
Oh
program.
no.
And I'm
You straight up
so
like
glad I
ag.
did. Yeah, it was really smelly and really
Ugh.
really disturbing to look at. And now that I know myself more, I think that there are things about nursing that I would have been very good at
Mm,
and could have like pushed through. But I think that there are some things that I would have been like I couldn't have tolerated it. So I'm really glad that I listened to like that inner voice and
mm.
moved away from it, even though it was hard.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's okay. I'm fine with where life has ended up,
Yep.
I guess.
I guess.
So.
Um, what would be the craziest animal you would have as a pet if you could? Like if it was legal and
Mm, bear.
a bear. Oh yeah, I forgot
100%.
that episode about you liking bears so
Yeah, I
much.
have a chocolate lab. She's a little bear.
Oh my gosh.
No, but like the videos of like bear cubs. Oh, and
Mm.
otters too. I would
Oh,
love a sea
a
otter.
little
Ugh.
fox. Foxes are so
Yes.
cute.
Or raccoons. I just love animals. I would have any animal, let's be honest,
Yeah.
except for spiders. I do
Oh, okay.
not like spiders
Would
or
you do a snake?
bugs. I would do a snake. Yeah, they're
Lauren would
really
never do a
cool.
snake, but I do like
Really?
snakes. Yeah. My mom, okay, so my mom was really cool. She had hissing cockroaches and then she had
Okay.
snakes like in college and she rode a motorcycle and she had a Doberman and she's like 5 foot flat. Like she's so short.
That's amazing. I love that.
I was
What a
like, you're
character.
quite the badass. And but then one of her best friends, when I was grown up, probably like, I don't know, 16, 18, somewhere in that range, her best friend in California, we went to visit him, and he had a 12-foot long ball python thing that was
So,
like literally like a foot diameter.
okay, that's
And
a
they put
little
it's
terrifying.
terrifying, and they put it over my shoulders for a second for a
No,
picture.
no, no, no,
It's like, look,
no.
I would do a little snake. My little brother has a really cute little snake. I'll see if he'll send me a picture.
I love it. Yeah. Snakes are cute.
Mm,
I wish that there were more around here, like
yeah.
gardener snakes.
Mm.
I used to catch those as a kid all the time.
Oh,
Um,
I know birds are smelly, but I would totally go for a bird too. I think they'd be really cool.
so I love birds. I don't think I would ever have one because my grandma had a bird and it was so loud.
Oh my gosh,
It
yeah.
was I hated visiting. Like when once they got that bird, there was probably like 3 summers that it was around and we went and visited and I hated it because it just like all
Shut
the
up.
time. Yeah, I think it was just really overstimulating, to be honest.
Yeah, probably.
But I mean, what are the talking birds? Not toucans, parrots?
Parrots, yeah.
Parrots live for a long time and
Yeah,
they
isn't it like
are,
20, 30 plus years? Like
I think, more.
even more.
And they are like very neglected. Like that's a
Mm.
huge rescue type of group, if I'm not mistaken. I would love a turtle one day. Would really like a turtle or a
Cute.
tortoise.
Mm.
Like, I babysat someone and he was like, "Do you want to go feed my tortoises?" And I was like,
What?
"Sure." And we walked outside. There were two huge tortoises in
Oh
these
my gosh.
people's backyard, and I was just like, I want one.
Oh.
But I guess you have to bury them in the winter, which I think would be really,
Oh.
really frightening.
Oh,
Like
it's
for
weird.
them to hibernate. Anyway,
Interesting.
there's there's lots of animals I would have.
Yeah, me too.
But I actually that's probably that's a dream of mine is to one day have land and
Mhm.
like have an animal sanctuary of sorts, whether it's dogs or farm animals.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always really loved animals.
Yeah. I worked with a rescue for I think like 4 or 5 years, fostering for them mostly, and then
Yeah.
like helping transport dogs to and from shelter stuff and the adoption events and all of that. And
Yeah.
I think I counted I had 12 or 14 dogs like through my house in that time. And it was so
Wow.
rewarding. Like I would do it again in the future with less of my own pets
Yeah.
involved. Um, but it's such a rewarding thing if you can and if you have any like training skills or
Hmm.
anything. It's really interesting in this area because like of course like dog homelessness is still a problem.
Yeah, that's really
But
sad.
here like to volunteer at the shelter or like go take dogs for a walk or something because the city is so big, you have to actually like sign up and or pay to take the dogs on the walk.
I know.
So funny.
I love it
I'm
though.
glad we have so many volunteers, but like
Yeah.
spread it
Well, and
out.
it probably like supports the animals in other ways that like the organization needs to be
Oh,
supported. Like it's just
definitely.
like a good way because I think that there are so many people that like would want to spend time with a dog or like want to practice having a dog. So like then there's that extra thing that they're getting out of it. And so the shelter's like, well, we need like monetary stuff. And
Yeah.
so I think it's
It's
so
cool to see that
smart that
work
they do
here.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely not possible in Oklahoma. Like there's not enough help to go
No.
around. Like
Yeah.
Oklahoma has to ship dogs out to other states.
Isn't that like Texas too?
Oklahoma and
Yeah.
Texas, I don't know why it's such a bad issue there. There's a lot of backyard breeders and just not a lot of people
So
getting their
sad.
pets spayed and neutered and stuff. And so
Yeah.
literally my former partner had lived in Wisconsin for a while
Uh-huh.
and got a dog up there, and every shelter was all dogs that said like from Oklahoma, from Texas, from Oklahoma. Like,
Wow.
yeah, like they have almost none of their own problem and
Mm.
all shipped in. So
Oh.
yeah. Wish there was a little more of that volunteerism for Oklahoma, but hopefully that's where I was when I worked for that rescue, and
That's really
they're a pretty
cool.
awesome group of people. So
I
yeah.
love it.
Yeah, but if you have any fun animals or just extra cute ones, send us pictures. I'd be happy to see them. And or if you're near Portland, we could come visit your crazy animals.
Have us over.
Have us over for a fun time.
We'd love to meet your dog.
Yeah. But not our dogs. Our dogs would not like to meet your dog.
Oh, my dog would.
Yours is okay with other dogs.
She's just really ball obsessed. So she'll say hi to your dog very excitedly and then ask where's the ball and then go and chase it.
No, bye.
It's actually really funny. My neighbors that live like right next to me, we don't have our dogs together just because I don't think their dog likes dogs either. But Frankie like goes up to the gate every day and like it's a full body wag saying hello to the other dog.
Sweet friends.
I'm just like,
Cute.
here's your little gate friend.
Oh,
She's
adorable.
funny. Yeah, she's really cute.
No.
So she needs more friends, more dog friends for
Yeah.
sure.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us to talk about animals. Be unapologetically you this week.
Find your joy.
And I don't know.
Let us pet your dog.
And let us pet your dog.
Thanks for joining us this week. You can find us on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Music.
Please like, subscribe, and leave us a review. We could use some of those. If you want to get pictures that go along with our episodes and follow along, join us on Instagram and TikTok.
Thanks, Hotties. Bloopity bloop bloop.
Bloopers!
Get your toesies in there.
They're so gross. Look at them. Yucky.
Don't look. I like when Gabby was like, "These are my feet."
I know. Nigel.
Nigel?
Nathan.
No.
Nate. Nori. Nathaniel. I really don't know any end names.
No, I really don't either.
Noah.
Otherwise, that kind of-
Noah.
Noah? Noah the narwhal? Nope. It wasn't any of those. If I think of it later, I'll let you know.
Nick.
Nick. No, not
Nick
Nick.
the narwhal.
That one's cute too, though.